Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NBA Player Prop Show for Wednesday, April 7th, 2021. We got a 9-game slate that we are going to discuss today. 3 props that we're going to talk about, then we're going to get right into questions like we normally do. So like normal, be sure to drop your questions in the live chat. I will get to them after I go over the 3 props that I like today. In addition, just wanted to remind everyone that if you're watching this video, be sure to like it, subscribe to this channel. Really helps me out. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter at sports_Burd. Follow me on Instagram at sports_Burd. And also be sure to check out Monkey Knife Fight. Monkey Knife Fight is a great place to play player prop games. You can play for a whole slate. You can play for one individual game if that's the game you are watching. You have great multipliers over there. Go on to monkeyknifefight.com. Put in the promo code DUDE50. You will get an 100% deposit match up to $50 with the promo code DUDE50. Once again, check it out. Link in the description below. Let's get right to it today. Let's talk about the 3 props that we like today. Once again, just drop your questions in the live chat if you have. And yeah, I'm excited to get to it today. Another day, another show. And the first prop that we are going to talk about, we have Chuma Okeke of the Orlando Magic at over 12.5 points in this game against the Washington Wizards. Over Chuma's last 7 games, he's averaging 16.3 points per game. He's cleared this 12.5 number 6 out of 7 times since the fire sale in Orlando, where everyone went at the trade deadline, which is just 6 games. He started all 6, and he's averaging 16.2 points per game in 33.5 minutes played per game. Over the 6-game span as well, he's taking 13 shots per game, shooting 48.7% from the field in those 6 games. So look, you know my rule. When a guy is shooting more shots than the actual point line, usually good sign. 13 shots per game over his last 6. 12.5 is the line. Pretty favorable line for the over here. At 12.5. He's shooting 4.3 threes per game as well over the 6-game span, shooting 38.5% through this time period. And tonight, Okeke goes up against the Washington Wizards, which is an amazing matchup for him. Washington ranks 30th, dead last in the NBA in opponent points per game at 118.7. Decently high over-under for an Orlando Magic game at 222.5. So they're expecting, decent amount of scoring. I like Okeke to go over 12.5 points. Really good value at plus 102 on FanDuel as well tonight. Now, our next prop that we are going to discuss today, we got Kyrie Irving, over 7.5 assists. Now, in 3 full games without James Harden this season, Kyrie Irving has gone for 8 assists, and 15 assists. So he's cleared the 7.5 number whenever James Harden is sidelined. Harden will be sidelined once again tonight with that hamstring injury that he re-aggravated last game against the Knicks. Now, over these last 4 games, he's averaging 10.5 assists per game. He's cleared the 7.5 number 3 out of 4 times. And tonight he goes against the New Orleans Pelicans, which is a really solid matchup for him. Pelicans ranked 26th in the NBA in opponent assists per game at 26.2. They rank 26th in opponent points per game at 115.1. High over under as a result of this as well, 233. Lots of possessions, lots of assist opportunities for Kyrie Irving, and I like him to go over 7.5 assists at plus 100 on FanDuel. Nice value there as well. Now, our next prop that we're going to discuss, we have an old reliable, a one that's been red hot lately, and that is Theo Maledon over 3.5 rebounds. Theo Maledon started the last 9 games for the Thunder. Over these 9 games, Maledon is averaging 5.1 rebounds per game in 30.6 minutes per game. He's cleared this 3.5 rebounds total in 8 of these 9 games. Hornets ranked 20th in the NBA in opponent rebounds per game at 44.6. And as a result, I like Theo Maledon to go over 3.5 rebounds, minus 134 on DraftKings. Like normal here, apologize for forgetting to put this up right before the stream, but we're going to get a banner going, a ticker going on the bottom here, with the props that I like. So if you're joining in late, and you're not getting to see, and you didn't get to see the beginning where I'm talking about props here, be sure to check this ticker out on the bottom for these 3 picks. And look, let's get right to it right now. Let's get to all the questions that we have, and I'll be sure to answer them. Here we go. Joker Jokic back on the stream today. Love to see it. One same game parlay. Nuggets money line. DeRozan 15+ points. Derek White 10+ points, 2+ assists. Keldon Johnson 4+ rebounds. Poeltl 4+ rebounds. Jokic 15 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Michael Porter Jr. 15 points, 1 3 plus 448. Thanks. Yeah, honestly, all these look pretty good. None of these lines are particularly risky in my opinion. All of them are pretty below what their actual value is, and that's why I do like it. Plus 48, decent value as well, so I do like that. From Bill, we have, do we like Poeltl, 19.5 points, rebounds, assists tonight, or tough matchup against Denver? Also, Tatum or Brown over threes. So, yeah, I'm going to stay away from Poeltl. He kind of screwed me last game. I think he just was on a little bit of a hot streak. Unfortunately, that slowed down when we hopped on it last game. Does have a tough matchup against Denver tonight. Denver is really good guarding the paint. They're really good in terms of rebounding. Denver ranks second in the NBA in opponent rebounds per game. 41.1. And then in terms of paint defense, obviously that's where, Poeltl's going to get most of his points. He ranks sixth in the NBA, 44.6 opponent points in the paint per game for Denver. Again, sixth in the NBA. So really tough matchup for him. I'm probably going to stay away from Poeltl. I would stay away from that. Now, if we're looking at Tatum or Brown threes here, Knicks have a pretty good 3-point defense. Both these guys coming in with a 3-point line at 2.5. I would probably have to go Tatum if I had to pick one, just because he's a little bit more consistent in terms of threes. I don't love either of these in particular today, because the Tatum has insane juice, minus 167 on DraftKings. It's probably around the same on FanDuel. Brown at minus 139. I don't have a huge preference between these two. If I had to say, it would probably be Tatum. But again, I don't like the matchup here against the Knicks tonight. Any Durant props, 5.5 rebounds seems low. Yeah, the only thing with Durant is you don't know if he's going to play 10 minutes or if he's going to play 30. Probably not 30, but you don't know if he's going to play 10 minutes or 20 minutes or 25. So that's why I'm staying away from him probably tonight. Although 20.5 points, which Jorge is asking here, does seem pretty low. I don't mind it, especially in a good matchup against the Pelicans, who let up a ton of points. But yeah, it's hard for me to bank on a guy who's coming back for injury when he could literally just play like 12 minutes tonight. What is up, Shadow Stefan? Hey, man, what do you think of Moses Brown over 9.5 rebounds? Like I said with Malon, good matchup against the Hornets. Hornets ranked 20th in the NBA in opponent rebounds per game at 44.9. Moses Brown been really solid. It was a very nice pickup for OKC. Just going to check out Moses Brown's last few games so I could read these stats up right now. We got Moses Brown, 8.2 rebounds per game on the season. And over the last few games, he has gone for 5, 14, 7, 12, 9, 23, 12, 18, 14. So he's been a little bit inconsistent, but I do like the matchup tonight. So I like it, yes. Rozier over 8.5 rebounds, assists, a blowout only factor. What do you think? Yeah, Rozier, obviously his usage has gone up since the LaMelo Ball injury. Decent matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Good matchup, I should say, in terms of pretty much everything. OKC ranks 17th in the NBA in opponent assists per game at 24.9. They rank at 27th in the NBA in opponent rebounds per game at 47.3. So it's a good matchup for him, there in terms of both rebounds and assists, averaging 4.1 rebounds per game, 3.4 assists per game. Last few games, he has gone for 7-4, 6-3, 5-3, 7-4. He's cleared this in his last 6 games. So yeah, I do like it. I think the only thing that could kill it, like you said, is a blowout. I don't think that'll happen though. I think you should go with it. Same game parlay, Rozier to score 20 while we're on Rozier here. Has only done this once in his last 3, but I do like the matchup here, so I think he will get 20. Graham, 5+ assists. Like I said, OKC ranking 17th in that category, so I'm pretty good with that. Devontae Graham, just want to check the numbers recently. Check the numbers on Devontae Graham. He's averaging 5.1 assists per game on the season. Last few games, he's gone 6, 6, 0, 6, 3, 8. Yeah, I think the matchup pushes him over the edge. I'm good with it. KD over 5.5 rebounds. Pelicans are, I believe, the best rebounding team in the NBA. They are. Opponent rebounds 40.4 a game, which is extremely low. First in the NBA once again. Yeah, there are some guys out for the Pelicans. I'm just unsure with KD how long he's actually going to play tonight, which is why his lines are where they are and why I'm probably going to stay away from him. Did another one. Same game parlay. Mitchell 25, Booker 25, Gobert double-double. That sounds good for me. Karl Anthony Towns, 12.5 rebounds or 27.5 points. Yeah, honestly, he has a great matchup in terms of points, but that line's a little bit high. Indiana ranks 29th in the NBA in opponent points in the paint per game at 51.2. That being said, Karl Anthony Towns has basically cleared this 12.5 rebounds number in, I believe it's like his last 6 or 7 games. I could get this up right now just to double check that number. But while that's loading up, Indiana is a good rebounding matchup for him also. They rank 21st in the NBA in opponent rebounds per game at 45.5. So let's just read off his rebounds last few games. He's been killing it on the glass. 13, 14, 16, 17, 12, 15, 16. So I believe it's over his last 7 games. He's cleared it 6 times. So honestly, I think both are good options. I think 12.5 rebounds is probably the more attainable number based on how he's been playing lately. I wouldn't be surprised if he hits the 27.5 points, but I think that's a little bit of a high line. If Ingram is out, Zion 30-plus points. Also, Irving over 6.5 assists. Yeah, Irving over 7.5 assists is one of my plays today. So if you get it at 6.5, that's great. Zion 30-plus points, I'm good with if Ingram's out for sure against this Nets defense or lack thereof. Throw in the questions. We got some time today. We got time to go for these. Apologize for being a little bit early today. We got something to do that would have conflicted with the normal timing, and so we went an hour early. Lots of good sports going on this weekend. We got more NBA coming up. We got baseball in full swing. We got the Masters starting on Thursday. You go check out my Masters show on my channel if you like the Masters, or if you have any Masters questions, just feel free to ask it in this chat right now. I'll be sure to answer it. Also, be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel. Really helps me out. Randall over 9.5 rebounds, or would I rather go with Karl Anthony Towns' rebound line? Tough call here. Not a great matchup for Randall on the boards. They played Boston, who ranks tied 7th at 42.3 opponent rebounds per game. If you plug in Randall here, loading up. Randall averaging 10.8 rebounds per game, so the line is a little bit low. Last few games, he has gone for 15, 8, 8, 12, 8. Yeah, I would rather go with Towns. Just a much better matchup. Jamal Murray out tonight. Whose props will benefit from it? Yeah, that's going to be mostly a Jokic. I think Jokic will benefit from. Jokic hasn't been scoring that much, but he'll benefit. Michael Porter Jr., he's been a guy that was just crushing his over prop for points. He'll benefit, but they boosted his points prop to 19.5. So honestly, he's cleared that like the last 5 games. So I wouldn't mind doing that. That'll benefit from it a lot, but Jokic as well will benefit from it. Any value on Westbrook triple-double? Look, I think Westbrook will probably get his triple-double tonight going against the Orlando Magic. So it's a good matchup for Westbrook for sure. In terms of the actual value that it has on it, I mean, this he's bringing in, his lines are ridiculous for rebounds and assists. Let's just see what the triple-double line is right now as I'm here. Any value. So yeah, I do think he gets the triple-double, but is there any value? Let's see what the line is. To record a triple-double, Westbrook, -140. Yeah, I mean, -140, there's a lot of juice there. Honestly, surprised it's not a little bit higher. I would be okay with it. I don't know if there's that much great value, but I would be okay with playing it at -140. Capella over 16.5 points. The Hawks play against Memphis. Memphis, pretty decent pretty not a great matchup. Memphis ranks 10th in the NBA in opponent points in the paint per game at 46.1. In terms of their scoring defense, they rank 12th in the NBA. So 16.5, not huge on it. Barton over 12.5 points. Obviously, we just mentioned that Murray is out. Let's just check out Will Barton recently. Averaging 12.7 points per game on the season. Oh. And we got last few games, he's cleared this. 24, 15, 19. If there's no Jamal Murray, that'll benefit him a decent amount as well. So I'm okay with that for sure. I like it. Any other questions we got for today? Anything else we got? Any other questions? Got a little bit of a smaller group today, given the fact that I am a little bit lower. Went an hour early on the show. Do apologize for the short notice on that. Also, just got an alert that Capella is questionable tonight, so we'll see what works with that. Morant over 16.5 points. Hasn't been scoring much lately, but I think the line is too low for him. Yeah, I would probably agree with that. He has not been scoring a lot lately, but 16.5 does seem very low. I would try and take advantage of that. Burd, good prop with over 13.5 points. Did good against Utah. I just said, I like Burd over 12.5 or 13.5. Finney Smith over 9.5 against the Houston Rockets. Been scoring quietly, double figures last couple of games. I'm good with. Let me just check on Finney Smith, but it's definitely a good matchup for Finney Smith against a Houston Rockets team that ranks 24th in the NBA in opponent points in the paint per game. Finney Smith, 4 of his last 5 he's cleared. I like Finney Smith as well. So I like both ears, Master Yoda. Devin Booker over 27.5 and Mitchell over 26.5. Yeah, that's going to be a great game. Suns, Jazz, 2 best teams in the Western Conference. Pretty significant game here. Booker coming in averaging 25.9 points per game. Last few games, he's gone 36, 32, 45, 21, 35. This guy's killing it. Obviously, Utah is a tough matchup, but you know what? National TV game, 27.5. It's a lot of points. Tough matchup, but I think I would be okay with it. I'm not huge on it. I would be neutral on it. Because 27 is a little bit of a high line, and it is a tough matchup, but he's been crushing it lately. And sometimes when these guys go on hot streaks, they sustain it for a decent amount of time. Now Mitchell over 26.5, I'd probably lean away from. This is a prop that Mitchell hasn't hit in the last 4 games. And the Suns are a really tough matchup. So I would probably go Booker over Mitchell if I had to choose one. Bro, you don't have to answer this. Well, what system do you use to get these stats? Yeah, so NBA.com has a lot of great stats. There's also some other websites I use, but NBA.com is a lot of the simple stats I use. Friends is asking about DeMar DeRozan, 20.5 points. Yeah, DeRozan, I've playing DeRozan props this year. He's having such a solid, underrated season that's not getting any respect because he's playing in San Antonio, and San Antonio isn't what they once were. They're probably one of the least covered teams in the NBA right now. He's cleared this in 3 of his last 4 games. Goes up against Denver, which is a pretty solid matchup as well. Denver ranks at I shouldn't say solid matchup, but it's not an extremely tough matchup. They run fast pace, high over unders in their game normally, 222.5. It's not that bad. I'm okay with playing over 20.5. National TV high seed game, low key down with that Booker prop. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking for Booker as well. It's like, all right, he's on a hot streak, comes into a game against the team that's seated above him. Important game. Lots of eyes going to be on it. Usually that's where the stars take over. That's why, I do like the Booker prop. Christian Wood at 19.5 points. Goes up against Dallas. Christian Wood's been a little bit weird lately. It looks like it's been taking him a little bit of time to adjust. Hasn't been scoring a ton. Don't know what's up with that, whether it's just like he's losing motivation on a bad team, whether it's just he's recovering from his injury. Dallas doesn't exactly have a huge paint presence. So, but that being said, they do rank 5th in the NBA. Like, you wouldn't think of it. If you're thinking of Dallas, you wouldn't be like, this team has whoever guarding the paint. Like, Porzingis isn't a great defender. They don't really have a huge paint presence. That being said, teams don't score in the paint against them. Dallas ranks 5th in the NBA in opponent points in the paint per game at 44.2. Christian Wood, the last few games, has gone for 23, 15, 19, 14, 24. He's not what he was before that injury. Probably not 100%. I'd probably stay away from it. Mike Conley, 4.5 assists. Okay, wait, hold on. John Wall got ruled out. All right, so John Wall was questionable when I was looking before. If John Wall's out, then the Christian Wood line looks a lot more appealing at 19.5. So I would be okay with playing Wood 19.5 now. Thank you, Andrew, for writing that in the chat. He was questionable the last time I looked. Mike Conley, 4.5 assists. All right, again, goes up against the Suns. Tough matchup in terms of opponent assists per game. Suns rank first in the NBA in opponent assists per game at 22, which is probably why this Conley line's at 4.5. I would stay away from it due to the matchup. Thoughts on over-under threes. Tyus Jones, 0.5 at plus 105. Desmond Bain, 1.5, minus 103. Melton and Clark out. Yeah, that's going to play a role. Melton and Clark out. Tyus Jones is a pretty solid backup point guard. Averaging 0.7 threes made per game, but obviously could get an increased amount of looks. Has hit a 3 in his last 3 games. The only problem is he doesn't play that many minutes. He's probably going to get 19 minutes, probably take 2 or 3 threes. You got to hope he makes one. I think the value is nice though. Plus 105. I would probably go with that. Now, Desmond Bain obviously shoots at a really high percentage. So if he could get an increased amount of looks, that's something I really do like. Desmond Bain shooting 45.3% from 3 this year. Really impressive for the rookie. Last couple of games, he's hit 3 threes. So I'm okay with that as well. I think there's a good value on both of those. I do like both those. Zion at 26.5 with the chance that Ingram is out. I'm good with that. Do I like Edwards at 31.5 points, rebounds, assists? 1 second here. Against the Pacers. Pacers are a good matchup for Edwards, for sure. But he doesn't get his rebounds and assists. They kind of come in bunches. It's like he has been scoring over 20 points. Is he going to get the rebounds? Is he going to get the assists? Pacers grade out poorly in both those categories, so you would hope that he could. They rank 20. Let's get this up here. Indiana ranks 25th in the NBA in opponent assists per game. They rank 21st in the NBA in opponent rebounds per game. Last few games, Anthony Edwards, 8-5, 1-1, 3-6. So he's been getting enough where you think it could possibly get done. I think this is a toss-up. I'm new. You're playing the under. I'm so used to people just writing it and just expecting me to think over. To go under. So last few games, he did not hit this last game, but he only lost by a half. I'm okay with under. It is a very good matchup for him in terms of rebounds, assists. So those numbers may be a little bit higher, but I think based on past games, I would be okay with it. Booker over 1.53 seemed really low to me, and thoughts on Wood over 19.5 points with Wall back. So is Wall out or back? Getting conflicted info. Okay, so Andrew says, say Wall out. I meant Wall has been out. He's playing tonight, but would explain why he was having a hard time on offense the last few games. Yeah, that's a pretty decent. That's a decent point. I'm trying to think. So if Wall's back tonight, you're gonna have to say, okay, could take some attention away from him. You know what? No matter what, if Wall's back tonight, I'm still good with Wood over 19.5. But we got, alrighty, where was I at? Booker over 1.53 seems low to me. Thoughts on Wood over 19.5 points with Wall back? Yeah, so Wood I'm okay with. Booker over 27.5 plus 100 I'm okay with as well. Now Booker threes. Booker has been a lot of guys. There's a few guys this year I've been observing that have just been like, and Trae Young is one of them. Devin Booker. They've been taking a little bit less threes this year. It seems like. Booker, not actually, but Booker does not make as many threes as you think. Last few games, he's hit over 1.5 threes in 6 straight games. 6-3, 2, 2, 4, 2. Yeah, that's a solid line at 1.5. I like it. All righty. Conley under points. Playing Chris Paul, top defensive player, point guard in the league, you say. Conley under points. Let me just check his last few games. It is a tough matchup against the Suns, averaging 16.6 points per game on the season. The last couple of games, he has gone for 28, 13, 26, 18. So he's having a pretty nice streak. But again, very tough matchup for Conley tonight. His line coming in at let's just get this up here for this game. We got a lot of people asking about Suns Jazz today. Line coming in at 16.5. He's cleared this in 3 of his last 4, but a tough matchup against the Suns is something that I don't like for him. Now, let's see what has happened when he's played the Suns in previous games. Has he played? Let me check. Okay, they played very early in the season, and he hit the over against them. Oh no, he had 16 against them when they played. I'm okay with the under. I'm not huge on it, but I'm okay with it. It is a tough matchup. Chris Paul over 7.5 assists. I mean, they lowered that for a reason. If you look at the top 2 assist teams, it's the Suns and the Jazz in terms of assist defense. 22.0 for the Suns, they're first. Second is Utah and 22.3. So they definitely did lower Chris Paul's prop a little bit in this game. A guy who's averaging 8.8 assists per game now has a 7.5 line here. But he's cleared this in his last 4. And this is a guy who typically is going to get probably higher than 7.5. I'm okay with it. I think the line is very low. Bogdan, Atlanta, over 2.53. So he has a good matchup for threes. Goes up against the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies rank at 21st in the NBA in opponent threes made per game at 13. Bogdanovic, last few games, has gone for he's hit it in his last 5 games. So, I mean, last 5 games, he's been on fire, actually. 5 for 8, 3 for 6, 6 for 11, 4 for 5, 4 for 8. I'm good with this. I'm good with this for sure. Good matchup. Michael Porter Jr. over 19.5. He's hit this a lot lately. I do like it. And with Jamal Murray out, that'll help him. Trae Young, 24.5. I like that as well. I like the matchup against Memphis. I think Trae Young could hit some more threes than normal because of what I was just talking about with Bogdan. Even a broken John Wall is better than Kevin Porter as far as creating offense, IMO. Yeah, you're right. I apologize for the confusion with the John Wall injury news before. Apologize for that. Westbrook over 11.5 rebounds. His 11.5 assist prop is a little bit too high for my liking. They go up against Orlando. Orlando ranks at 24th in the NBA in opponent rebounds per game at 46.6. I'm good with taking Westbrook over 11.5 rebounds. Marcus Smart, 5.5 assists against the Knicks. Knicks are pretty good in that category, just like the Jazz, just like the Suns. Knicks rank 5th in the NBA in opponent assists per game. They just don't let up a lot of points. It's a really low over-under in this game, all the way down at 209, I believe. Marcus Smart averaging 5.4 assists per game on the season. Has only hit this in 2 of his last 5. I don't like the matchup. I would stay away from this. I honestly would probably prefer under on 5.5. You still like Kyrie's assist prop more than Chris Paul, right? Yep. Any other questions we got for today before we head out? If you're in here, be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. Really helps me out. The 3 props we got for today: Chuma Okeke over 12.5 points, Kyrie Irving over 7.5 assists, Theo Maledon over 3.5 rebounds. Those are my 3. They're scrolling around, along the bottom. You can follow me on Twitter at @sports_Burd. You can follow me on Instagram at @sports_Burd. Be sure to check out Monkey Knife Fight as well. Promo code DUDE50 for an 100% deposit match up to $50. Tatum, 24.5. Again, I'm staying away from that probably against the Knicks. I'm staying away from the over against the Knicks. I think they're just defense in general. Their ability to slow the game down, play at extremely slow pace, that'll hurt Tatum's points tonight. Kevin Durant threes. Yeah. In a perfect world where Kevin Durant is healthy, I would love this. Like, Pelicans rank 30th in the NBA in opponent threes made per game at 15.1. They rank 27th in the NBA in opponent three-pointers attempted per game at 38.5. They rank at 29th in the NBA in opponent three-point percentage at 39.3. The only thing is we don't know how much Kevin Durant's actually going to play. So if you feel like Kevin Durant's going to play enough where he could hit his over, go for it. But just for me, I don't know how, even you could get it at plus money, probably, whatever it is. I don't know how much he's going to play, which is why I'm staying away from Durant tonight. Westbrook, 24.5 against Orlando. That's something I can get behind. I like that. Westbrook's been playing great lately. Good to see. Orlando ranks 15th in the NBA in opponent points per game at 111.3. Their defense is not good, though. It's worse than 15th. So I like it. Yeah, I like the over. PJ Washington under on 12.5 points against Oklahoma City. Yeah, PJ under. Something that's been coming in and being asked actually a lot recently. PJ Washington. Let's check him out. 11.5 points per game on the season. Last few games has gone for 3, 13, 8, 5, 0, 8. This guy doesn't clear it a lot. Only reason, my guess is the only reason this line's at 12.5 is because OKC's paint defense is really, really bad. 25th in the NBA in opponent points in the paint per game. I still like 12.5 under. Anything else we got for today? Anything else? Any last minute questions? Thank you everyone for watching once again. We will be back on Friday. Really want to play Westbrook triple-double and a win, but I hate betting against Orlando at home. Yeah, the only thing with Orlando, you would think that they would be like the worst team in the NBA for the rest of the year. They've been playing like pretty solid even though they traded everyone. Like these young guys are gelling really well together. So yeah, I get that. I get hating betting against them at home. All right, that will wrap up our NBA player prop show for Wednesday, April 7th, 2021. Once again, you could rewatch this to see my explanation for the 3 props that I explained at the beginning of the video. You can rewatch it. Last question here before I sign off from Ryan. Just want to answer this. Don't want to leave you unread here. Aiden, 9.5 rebounds. Honestly, he's been extremely inconsistent. If there's one coach that could probably exploit him, it's Quinn Snyder. I don't like the over for sure. The under just seems like a low line for Aiden, so I probably wouldn't lean under. It probably just would be just a neutral. I probably wouldn't play anything with it. But yeah, that is all for the NBA player prop show for today. Once again, thank you everyone who is watching. If you're still watching, be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel. Really helps me out. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter at @sports_Burd, Instagram at @sports_Burd. You can check out Monkey Knife Fight, promo code DUDE50 in the link in the description below. 100% deposit match up to $50. We will be back here on Friday, probably normal time between 4 and 5:30 somewhere. I will try to let you guys know earlier if there is a change on timing or if I'm going a little bit earlier like I did today. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Goodbye everyone, and good luck with your NBA prop betting tonight.